Hello friends, Tal here, and welcome to a brand new video. In fact, a brand new video series. These are my how to tank guides, and we're going to be starting that today with talking about how to tank heroic / normal Nythendra, the first boss in the Emerald Nightmare. Now, to be honest, this fight isn't too intensive for a tank. There's not a lot that you got to do. It's pretty standard, pretty basic, and it's easily a 2 tankable boss fight without any trouble there. All you have to worry about tanking this boss is, for the most part, you want to hold the boss in the middle, and the taunt swap is actually going to consist of a very simple volatile rot. Now what this does is it places a debuff on you. It's very similar to the Fell Reaver or Iron Reaver from Hellfire Citadel. You basically run out of raid, get really far away from them, you explode, you deal some damage to everyone around you, and then you drop a couple of green puddles near you. Now these green puddles are like any other mechanic in this fight, where if you touch it you get a stack of a debuff. It just do consistent magical damage to you. It doesn't affect tanks as much as it does like DPS healers, but you don't want to tax your healers too much by standing in too many of them, getting too many stacks. Now these stacks do go away in phase 2, but phase 1 consists of that very simple tank swap. All you got to do is swap off when your co-tank gets a thing, they run away, you keep tanking the boss. You don't have to worry about any sort of frontal cleave, you don't have to worry about any sort of tail swipe for this boss, even though it is a dragon. The only other thing that you have to do is make sure you don't get hit by other DPS's rots or the breath that she casts in any direction. She faces anybody and then she just goes ahead and casts it. All in all, it's a very simple tank fight. There's not a lot that you got to worry about. And in phase 2, what she does is she goes into wherever she's standing, she kind of lays down on the floor, and she begins to pull in all the rots from around the room towards the center. Now, as they pass through you, if you get hit, you get a stack of the debuff. But any stacks that you had currently at the moment or when it started or anything like that, they do eventually disappear at the end of that phase. Now, the other thing that you have to worry about here is there's these little exploding bugs that grow very large, and they explode in a little radius. They do it about 3 to 4 to 5 times, and it does a decent and fair amount of damage. I would say that if you're not a tank class, taking 2 of these shots will just flat out murder you, and if you're a tank, between 3 to 4 will kill you. The cool thing is you do have a little bit of a moment here while the tank is in that phase to do some damage, but the fight is not very melee friendly. I would say that if you can, safely do damage to the boss while she's in that phase, go ahead and do it. But if, for example, her wings are covering a section of the floor, which they can cover bugs, and you won't even see it, and then boom, you'll be hit and killed, I wouldn't worry too much about it. Stand off to the edges if you're worried about dying, or stand close to the boss and do a bit of a DPS rotation if you're not too worried about that. But beyond that, once she finishes sucking in all the rots and little green puddles from the room, she goes back into phase 1 and you just repeat the cycle. Overall, it's a very easy fight. It gets very interesting on Mythic, but in Heroic and Normal, it's just a flat out very easy, very simple fight. Now, keep in mind, I was tanking this as a druid. There really isn't too much physical damage that goes out. There's nothing too crazy with magical damage either. I would say that any tank class would probably have an easy time with this, honestly, but heavy mobility is probably preferred. You definitely want to get out as far as you can with the volatile rot. The room isn't too huge, but you have like the entrance and the exit of the room where you can go ahead and drop the tank debuffs. Just make sure you're not near any DPS when you do this. The damage is caused, or it increases depending on how close you are to people. So you don't want to be too close to your co-tank, you don't want to be too close to the rest of the raid, you don't want to explode on them and snack bar them. But beyond that, it's very easy, very simple, good first boss, much more interesting on Mythic, but there's not a lot of tank responsibility that you got to worry about. Overall, it's fun, and I hope you guys enjoyed this quick little video about how to tank Nythendra. Thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, go ahead and drop it a like. You can subscribe to the channel if you want to see more content just like this. And I want to thank the time each and every single one of you took out of your day to go ahead and watch this, as well as a very special thank you to my Patreon patrons who continue to make this dream a reality through their monthly continued support. If you'd like to go ahead and become a Patreon patron, you can go ahead and click right there on the logo. It'll take you right to the page. And other than that, you can go ahead and tweet me or follow me at Tauriel here on Twitter. And I hope you guys have a wonderful, fantastic day. See you guys around.
When the colors fade and it turns to gray, we'll calmly walk away from the fray. When structure falls and all else fails, we will build it once again.